Well, we're back in the shop again today, working on this 200t. This is part 2. So I came up with my numbers that I would like to hit on this saw. Before I took the base gasket out, it was 101 that the exhaust would open at, 101 degrees after top dead center. I took the base gasket out and it ended up being, it would open, no, sorry, backwards. It was opening at 100 with the base gasket. I took the base gasket out, now it's opening at 101. I want to bring it back to 100 on the exhaust. The transfers, I'm probably going to keep the transfer numbers where they are, but I'll open up the bottom of the transfers a little bit, and I'll do a little bit of shaping at the top, but very, very minimal, very minimal. And the intake, I'm going to leave the intake exactly how it is, other than putting my little touch onto the intake. That's it, and I'll show you guys everything what I do to this. So whenever I do my exhaust, I'm just going to shape it first. I just want to shape it. So I usually take the 200s, you can take the exhaust apart with a couple screws, and the top comes off of it. I like to put them back on with the top off, and then I'll get the shape that I want in my cylinder, and it'll also open up my exhaust at the same time, because you got to be careful with these exhausts. If you open up your exhaust port too much, then you either won't be able to get a seal, or this will crack over time. So you can't go ridiculously big, but you can open it up quite a bit more. So let's get into it. Start digging in. I'll just line everything that I need up. Turn my light on. There we go, now we can see. I like to use this one to start. I don't know if you can see it, but that's what I like to start with. Just move this stuff over a little bit. And just start digging. A little bit goes a long way. I'm just getting the rough shape that I want first, and then I'll start opening up the actual exhaust port more. I'm just getting it to roughly where I'd like it, and then you can really start to do your finishing touches after. Start smoothing it out, getting it to look pretty, you know. Very relaxing. I start singing songs in my head, and I'm a bit weird like that, but I guess there's no one here to judge me. I'm all by myself talking to the camera. A little bit different, but I like to sing Charlie Pride. Singing Charlie Pride in my head. A whole bunch of different songs. I'm not even touching, I'm not touching any numbers at all right now. I'm actually staying probably about this far away from my inside port because I really don't want to, I don't want to hit those, I don't want to touch it yet. You can always take material away, but you can't really put it back. I usually just pull the tool towards me, so I kind of just do little sweeps, right? And that's the way that I like to do it. And then, you know, if you have kind of like a little bit of rough spots here and there, then you just kind of do little circles as you go, but very lightly. And it usually takes out the rough spots, or you can really feel if you went too far into something. But everybody ports differently, everybody uses this tool differently. A lot of people don't have what I have, you know. I usually have gloves on whenever I do this because sometimes you get metal pieces in your hand and it either takes a couple days to get them out, or irritating. But I was never really a glove person until lately, to be honest with you, and still I forget to put them on. But I'm a mobile mechanic. I don't know if I've said that already or not, but I started doing a lot of diesels lately, and I hate the smell of diesel. Absolutely hate it. So I started wearing gloves, and you don't come home and eat a black sandwich, or you're not eating grease all the time, which is nice. And especially being mobile, oftentimes you can't wash your hands. You just have either brake clean that you spray on your hands and wipe it off with a rag, or I'm too cheap to buy those real fancy hand cleaner towel things. And anyhow, moral of the story is I started wearing gloves and it's a little bit easier. Even my truck stays a little bit cleaner. I'm gonna see if I can get you guys in here. put you on pause and I'll try to figure something out. There, now you guys can actually kind of see what I'm trying to do here. See how I'm kind of staying away from my actual numbers, but I am trying to get all that stuff out. Just little bits at a time. It's very hard. I'm kind of trying to look through the camera at the same time. Let's see, we're getting the shape that we want. So I'll shut this off now. Tell you a bit more. You get the old pointing stick out. So see why I put this half of the exhaust on whenever I do this is right here. You can't take a whole lot out of this. Like you can take enough, yeah, but you don't want this to crack. And this is just aluminum, this exhaust. You don't want it to crack around the holes, because sometimes pieces will actually break off if you have enough of the back pressure or vibration in that. Little pieces will actually break off and they will go back into your cylinder. So you don't want to take too much off these sides. But you can take this right off and this right off until, see these little round circles here? Well, that's where your other plate mounts onto. So you can go right up to the bottom of these holes. You know, take all this out, and that helps a lot with exhaust flow. But see how much it's already opened up? I'll show you another one that I have here that has not been touched. I'll just clean it up a little bit so you can actually really get a good reference of what I mean. See? I know this one actually looks big, but it's different. See how much you can actually open these up? You can open it up a bit past the gasket. You know, if you use a different type of gasket, you can go pretty near right to here. You can do you can take out quite a bit on these, and they like it. That's a good cylinder. It's not burnt or anything, that one. It's actually in really good shape. I kept it off of a different saw. I ended up robbing parts from it. It was my personal saw, and anyhow, I don't think it'll ever go back together. I'm not really big into the top handle saws too much. I don't climb or anything, so enough of me talking. Let's get back into it. So that's what it's looking like so far. We'll get it a bit more. I'm not quite at the holes yet. Let's dip into her more. very satisfying. It's starting to go in a little bit more now. Sorry about the camera, it's probably making you guys dizzy. I don't know if I can do something. Does it feel like you guys are right here with me now, or? Looks a bit better now, eh? I'm going to switch my bits now. I'm going to go to more. I'm going to go to like an egg-shaped one. Find that one works pretty good for the exhausts. Especially if you don't want to hit your numbers exactly right away. I find that egg shape, you have more control to stay away from the inside of your cylinder. Dip it in a bit of oil too. Try to get your corners as much as possible. Probably a lot better with an angle freeze. I am going to go a little bit wider with the port, and I'll show you whenever I'm done. What it'll look like. I know there's a couple people wondering what that snowmobile is in the background. That is a 1978 supersonic liquid cooled, and that's a customer of mine that I've been restoring for the past probably year. The only real thing that I have to do to it so far now is I have to build a full wiring harness for it. And if anybody knows how to, or has done wiring harnesses before, they know that it sucks. That's one of those jobs that you get into the shop, lock the door, put a sign on the door, tell nobody to come in, and it's those types of jobs that you can't really have a cold snack doing. All of a sudden you're 12 cold snacks in, and you're starting to put different colored wires in the wrong places. I'll cut this one a little bit short, and I'll do some off camera just so I don't have to edit a pile, and I'll bring you guys back in after. I will have to cut this video a little bit short, but I'll do some off camera. You guys understand the gist of it, and I believe next video is going to be transfers, and we'll get right into the transfers, and I'll explain why I do it, how I do it, and why I like to do it the way that I do it, and I'll show you the finished work on the exhaust, and well, I think you already know the numbers, but I'll give you the numbers again after. Alright, catch you next time.